years ago, I felt pretty special. I was at a youth leadership conference, youth ministry leadership conference, and was there. It was when I was on the road, and we were there to do sound, lighting, and video. We weren't really doing any upfront ministry. We were doing any supporting roles. And the praise team that we worked with, which was a big part of the event, in our role in sound and so on, was the worst praise team that I've ever worked with. I don't mind telling you that because hopefully you won't connect any dots or know anybody, and it's nobody here. So it really was the worst praise team ever. Mostly the people were all, some of them were pretty good, but the leader and I perhaps could have what could be modestly referred to as a personality conflict. She told Shell, who was not my wife at that time, but we were engaged, to not marry me. Said please don't marry him. It was one of these events that was done in a big hotel ballroom, and here's a little bit of nerd speak, so some of you will flatline immediately, but for those who can stay with me, ballrooms are the worst places to do events for sound guys because they're not set up to do events in. They're big spaces, but like this one was up. We had to back the semi into a loading dock, which that's okay, but the loading dock was maybe 8-10 feet deep, and then you had to take a 90-degree angle, curve around through stuff to get to a freight elevator to take you up to where the event was. It wasn't like you backed in and loaded onto the stage. We, not knowing this, had tried to work ahead and had preloaded the lighting truss. Truss was things that hang lights at concerts and look cool. We hung all the lights on them, and we had a 48-foot semi, so you could bring 20 foot of truss in, all wired up. So all I had to do was snap the wire ties, and the cables are done, everything ready to go. We had to break that apart because there was no way to get around the turns, and then the freight elevator wasn't 20 feet long. We get everything set up, and we worked in advance with the praise team leader. Said, okay, when do you want to come do sound check and practice? Because that's real important for an event like this. And they're like, okay, at this time. We show up. We're there at that time, pretty much ready to go, and no one shows up for the practice. Like one guy on keyboard, like ding ding ding, okay, so now my stress load is starting to rise just a little bit. And yes, it happened. It started at like 7 o'clock. At 6:45, the praise team shows up going, we're ready to do sound check. We're 15 minutes out. There's not a lot of time to do a whole lot. At this point, we're in trouble. Not only that, and this is when things really got interesting, was at 7 o'clock when it was supposed to start, my wife, now my fiance then, was kind of the stage manager, because my wife has the ability, more than anyone I know, to look at someone, tell them off, and then still like her. I don't know how she does it. She can boss people around and you still kind of feel good about her and yourself. It's a gift and I don't have it. And she's got a radio, I've got a radio, I'm running sound, and the praise team leader's like, we need 7 more microphones. Okay, so in sound speak, what that means is, moreover, I don't think we had 7 more microphones. And they wanted them because they had the praise team, then they also had these people who were going to be down front doing sign language and other weird gyrations of the body down front that they wanted microphones for, even though they really weren't singing. Really? Am I lying or exaggerating so far?
Gyration's bad.
The exaggeration's bad?
No, gyration.
Gyration. Sometimes that's, for me, that's what it looked like. So,